Stuck in traffic or sprinting for the train? It's time to stop surviving your commute and start winning it. Welcome back to the Daily Seed English Podcast. I'm Alex, your practical coach for all things professional.
And I'm Sophia, your curious navigator. We're so glad you've joined us today to plant another seed of knowledge in your language journey.
Exactly. You know, Sophia, we often talk about the bridge to fluency, but today we're talking about the literal bridge and the road and the train tracks you take to get to work.
Oh, I see where this is going. We're talking about growth, but sometimes that growth happens while you're stuck in traffic, right?
Spot on. Whether you're just starting to venture out into a new city or you've been doing the same walk for years, every journey is a chance to learn better. Today, we're helping our friend Maya, who is struggling with her hybrid hustle.
Poor Maya. She's trying to balance working from home and heading into the office, but her mornings are, well, a bit of a disaster.
They really are. But don't worry, by the end of this, we'll help her and you turn that morning chaos into a smooth daily seed routine. So, Sophia, let's talk about Maya's situation. She's working this hybrid schedule, right? 2 days at home, 3 days in the office. You'd think by month 3 she'd have a rhythm, but it's like she's fighting a new boss battle every Tuesday morning.
Oh, I know. She told me that every time she has to venture into the city, it feels like she's launching a space shuttle for the first time. There are so many moving parts.
Nodding. Venture is the perfect word there. It means to start a journey, especially one that might be a bit challenging or even a little risky. For Maya, the risk is her sanity before her first cup of coffee.
Exactly. And because of that risk, she told me she stays awake at night. She actually feels this massive sense of dread on Sunday evenings, just a total heavy feeling of fear or worry about what could go wrong on Monday morning.
We've all been there, Sophia. That dread usually comes because her commute has become a source of stress rather than just a transition.
Now, just to be clear for our listeners, commute is just the technical way to say her regular journey between home and work, right? It doesn't matter if she's on a train or a pogo stick.
Precisely. Whether it's a 10-minute stroll or a 2-hour trek, that's your commute. Maya's problem is that she hasn't owned her commute yet. She's reacting to the morning instead of ruling it. She wakes up, looks out the window, sees gray skies, and panics.
I mean, she tries to be early, but then she hits the rush hour and everything just stops. It's like the whole city decides to move at the exact same second.
The rush hour. That's the busiest time for traffic in the morning or evening. It's that window, usually 7:30 to 9 a.m., where everyone is fighting for the same square inch of asphalt. It's the ultimate test of a professional's patience.
And Maya always seems to hit it at 8:45. She's sprinting for the elevator when the meeting is already starting. It's a tough way to start the day.
It really is. But identifying the chaos is the first step to fixing it. Next, we need to look at her buffet of options. So, Sophia, Maya is standing at her front door. She has choices, but she's paralyzed by them. Should she drive, take the train, or maybe even cycle?
Right. She calls it the transport buffet, but honestly, sometimes the food at this buffet looks a bit unappealing. Like if she drives, she's immediately hit with the city congestion.
Oh, definitely. Congestion is just a fancy way of saying a place is totally blocked or crowded with traffic. It's that bumper-to-bumper nightmare where you move 3 inches every 5 minutes.
I hate that. It makes it impossible to be punctual. I mean, how can you arrive exactly at the right time when there's a delivery truck blocking the entire street?
Exactly. Being punctual is the goal, arriving at the right time, but the road is a fickle friend. That's why many people, including Maya, look toward public transit.
Now, when we say transit, we're talking about the whole system of moving people via buses, subways, or trains, right?
Spot on. It's the backbone of the city. But the problem for Maya is that her local train line isn't exactly reliable.
And that's the deal breaker. If something is reliable, it means you can trust it to work well consistently. If the train breaks down every second Tuesday, Maya is back to square one, stressed and late.
It's a trade-off, isn't it? The car gives you a private bubble but traps you in congestion. The train is faster but relies on a system that might fail.
Maya even thought about biking. She bought the helmet and everything, but then she realized she didn't want her first professional interaction of the day to be wiping sweat off her forehead in the lobby.
The sweaty specialist look is rarely in style, Sophia. But this is exactly why she needs a strategy beyond just picking one and hoping for the best. So, Sophia, Maya finally cracked the code. She stopped fighting the city and started outsmarting it. Her first big win was a total mindset shift. She decided to leave 30 minutes earlier and switch entirely to public transit.
Wait, she's leaving earlier? That sounds like she's just losing sleep. Doesn't that make her more exhausted by the time she gets to her desk?
Actually, it's the complete opposite. By leaving before the peak of the rush hour, she's turned her bus and train ride into a private sanctuary. Think about it. Since she's not the one driving through that soul-crushing congestion, she's reclaimed her time.
Oh, I see. So instead of gripping a steering wheel and shouting at traffic, she's sitting back with a book.
Exactly. She spends 40 minutes reading her favorite novels or catching up on the news. I even heard from a mutual friend that if she snags a quiet window seat, she'll close her eyes for a quick nap.
A power nap on the way to work? That's legendary. It's like her commute has become a mobile spa instead of a stressful chore.
Right? It's about making the journey work for you. But her second solution is where she really becomes a pro. She developed a weekly transport mix based on the specific demands of each day.
A weekly mix? So she doesn't just do the same thing every single morning.
Nope. She looked at her calendar and realized that every day has a different energy. On Mondays, when she's feeling fresh and needs to wake up, she might venture out on her bicycle. It's a bit more effort, but the exercise clears her head.
And what about those long meeting Wednesdays or tired Thursdays?
That's when she switches to the most reliable option, the express train. She knows she can trust the schedule, so she can just zone out. By tailoring her transport to her mood, she's much more punctual. She's arriving exactly at the right time because she's not leaving things to chance.
It sounds like she's finally planted a routine that actually grows with her. The morning dread, that heavy worry about will I make it, is gone because she's the pilot of her own schedule.
Precisely. She's not a victim of the traffic anymore. But even with a perfect, peaceful ride, you still have to land the plane, right? You can't just walk into a boardroom with bus nap hair.
Definitely not. So how does she make that final transition from the street to the office?
So, Sophia, we've gotten Maya to the city center. She's had her nap, she's read her book, but she's not at her desk yet. This is where most people make a mistake. They run from the station straight into a meeting.
Oh, I've done that. You arrive breathless, your brain is still thinking about the train delay, and someone asks you a question. You just stare at them like a deer in headlights.
Exactly. That's why Maya started building in a decompression buffer. Instead of rushing, she uses the last 10 minutes of her commute, the walk from the station to the office, to reset.
Like a mental reset button? What does she actually do during that walk?
Encouragingly, she practices what I call active observation. She puts her phone away and just looks at the architecture or the trees. It sounds simple, but it stops the commuter brain and starts the focus brain.
So she's not just a stressed-out traveler anymore. She's a professional taking a morning stroll.
Exactly. And because she chose a reliable route, she has those extra 5 minutes to grab a coffee or even just sit in the lobby for a moment. It ensures she's punctual not just in her physical arrival, but in her mental presence.
I love that. It's the difference between arriving at work and being ready to work. That feeling of dread she used to have about the office has been replaced by a sense of calm.
It really has. She's finally mastered her journey. She realized that how you venture into your day determines the quality of the whole day.
What a transformation! From a chaotic hybrid hustle to a peaceful multimodal master. I think we can all take a leaf out of Maya's book, or a seed from her garden.
Well said, Sophia. Now, before we let our listeners go, let's make sure those words we planted today really take root. So, Sophia, let's look back at the words that helped Maya save her morning.
I love this part. I'll start. I think the biggest change for Maya was how she viewed her commute. Just that regular journey between home and work. She stopped seeing it as a waste of time.
Right, and she did that by beating the rush hour. Instead of traveling during that busiest time for traffic, she left early to reclaim her peace.
Because no one wants to be stuck in congestion. I mean, being trapped in a blocked, crowded street is the fastest way to ruin your mood before 9 a.m.
It really is. That's why she looked for something more reliable. She needed a system she could trust to work well consistently, rather than just crossing her fingers and hoping for the best.
And that led her to public transit, right? She really leaned into the city system of buses and trains to get around.
She did, and the result is she's finally punctual. There's no better feeling than arriving exactly at the right time and feeling completely prepared for your first meeting.
It's so much better than that feeling of dread. I'm so happy she doesn't have to live with that heavy worry about being late anymore.
Definitely. Now she's actually excited to venture out into the city. She's starting that challenging journey with a plan